Hello, welcome to game 3 against Personman. We have a peasant kingdom on the board, and it seems like the most likely target for your peasant is going to be that minstrel. Wandering minstrel seems great to stick a plus card token on. That really was my initial thought going into it. Peasant, minstrel, leprechaun could come later. Familiar, I don't think you care about familiar. You have trashing in the bat and in the trading post. So I don't think you care about familiar. I think you want to get your peasant online as quickly as possible. The minstrel helps you do that, and the minstrel is also a target pile for the teacher token. So the opening seems fairly straightforward to me. Well, at least for my plan anyway, which is going to be minstrel and peasant. Personman thinks a bit here, but they end up going for the same thing, minstrel and a peasant as well. If you wanted familiar, you open peasant potion there. But like I said, I don't think that's worth it. The minstrel is too good. It'll give you too much cycling, and you'll get to your vampire trade and post fast enough to trash those curses and not have them affect you too much. Yeah, so quite a long think here. I'm not sure what the thought was. Probably on Messenger. I'm not sure what you messenger across, but they just go for the minstrel. I get my second minstrel here, very focused on that pile for now. I don't see the peasant, unfortunately, but whatever, we'll take it. The minstrels will get back to later iterations of that peasant. Now, Personman does something interesting here. Instead of a minstrel, as I anticipated from them, it's a messenger, and instead of distributing minstrels, they distributed a vassal. So I have a vassal now. It's fine, I could deal with that. I understand the messenger in the sense that it is plus buy early, so maybe they have some plans with the plus buy. We'll see. I do get a couple more peasants here. That disciple is a very, very good card. Personman converts peasant into soldier, and I'm going to buy another peasant here. So I have what, 4 of these travelers now. Here at this point, I do have the option to pick up even more travelers. But I decide, no, yeah, there, but instead I decide to go back on my minstrel plan and just stick with that for now. Personman gets up to a vampire there. Very nice, very nicely done. I am looking forward to a vampire myself. Here I do have the money for a vampire. In addition to that, I have the money for vampire plus another peasant. I opted to not take the third, fourth, fifth actually peasant, if you count fugitive and soldiers as peasants, so to speak. I opted not to take it there. I thought maybe that was excessive, and maybe I won't get to convert that peasant into a disciple. So I chose not to. Maybe that is wrong, but it is what I did. Anyways, I'm happy with the vampire now. Minstrel for Personman. I think we are 3-3 on those minstrels. Fortunately, collide my disciple with my minstrel here, and I think I will I might consider, yeah, I do consider a vampire here, second vampire, and I get a falconer here. Very interesting. I thought about obviously gain minstrel, buy minstrel on that turn, but I opted for the falconer because I think, maybe incorrectly, that I have enough time to have that falconer gain a minstrel for me on the next shuffle. In other words, I'm saying, okay, I don't think they could empty the minstrel pile here, but I could be wrong on that. Maybe with a good draw, they could have done it. They do have the plus buy in the messenger, and they do have a vampire gain. Anyways, they don't end up emptying the minstrels. They get close though. They get very close to emptying the minstrels here. Instead, they take just minstrel and vassal. So vassal is going to turn over a minstrel. I do find falconer, sorry, and I do find the time for the falconer to pick up a minstrel, put it into the hand, play it straight away. Unfortunately, my disciple comes with nothing gainable anyway. I do get to effectively put a militia in play here. And I will buy the last minstrel. So I win that split handsomely, and I have more disciples. I'm looking ahead at this point in the game. Everything, like I have a clear advantage in everything except plus buy, but I have a gain, so maybe that offsets the plus buy. Uh, And the vassal, I have one less vassal, but the minstrels, the teacher, I have more of those. So I feel very comfortable about my position here. I think it's very commanding, especially after I put this plus card token on the minstrels. I should be able to see the whole, if not the whole deck, all the relevant cards in the deck for sure. Then I could, start to clean up with trading post maybe if need be. So the plus card token comes down. Personman just converted their disciple into a teacher, so they will be at least a turn behind on that. I played Disciple on Fugitive here just to make sure that I have a full turn. I didn't trust the deck. Maybe I should have. Now I have better targets for the Disciple. Could be Vassal, could be Falconer. I think Falconer is way more important to Disciple than the Vassal. And yeah, you see me hovering there. I am going to take the potion. Probably just another Messenger or Vassal is better there. But I take the potion. I don't really know why. It might do something, but it could very easily not do something. So familiar here for me, and a trading post. The trading post, oh no, actually vampire. I will gain a trading post instead. That is dubious and probably just completely wrong to gain the trading post. Falconer seems to be, in retrospect, a much better card to gain in this position. But luckily I'm ahead, so I'm afforded some room to make mistakes. I wanted to clean up the deck a little bit because it's not consistent, right? I do have more minstrels, but I do have 7 coppers and 3 estates. Well, I did trash a bit there, but you get the idea. See what happens here? Rubbish. Rubbish draw. Absolute garbage. I do get to put down the teacher again though, and on 5 here, it's really hard for me to figure out what to gain. I do choose to gain another falconer, and I will gain yet another falconer with this vampire. I have some ideas of probably mass gaining gardens to end the game here. I do understand that the end of the game is close because vassals are quite low. Personman has been going after those quite heavily. Probably after seeing that they lost the minstrel split, they wanted to put a token on the vassal. Maybe plus card, maybe plus action, I'm not sure. Well, they do have a very good turn here, and the advantage of the vassals does show its face here. They do generate a lot of money. In fact, by the end of this turn, they will have enough money to go for double province. Remember, they had that messenger from early, that plus buy, so they do have the plus buy and the coins from all of those vassals to get to double province. Very well done by them there. After losing the minstrel split, they found the next best pile and they targeted it, and they did a good job at that. The falconer, they do take some time to think about what to gain here, because I think piles is also a consideration in their mind. They know that I have what, 4 falconers in the deck now, plus quite a few vampires. I think 2 of them. I do have 3 vampire bat combinations. I'm not sure how much of each. So I do have quite a bit again in the deck, and you do see the 16 and 2 buys here. Very impressive. I was impressed. I didn't think their deck could do this, but proved me wrong, obviously. Fortunately, there's no pile out. They do have the points lead as well, but there's no pile out available, so they do take the double province and move on. Now, here, the second teacher token is for plus buy for me, and it will be on the falconer. And here, I do have an idea with the falconers. My idea is, before we go through this turn, is to collect all of them into my hand. Use one to gain some dual type thing, like peasant. And then that'll force a reaction off of the other falconers. So I don't have to spend as many actions to play all of those falconers. I thought it was clever. It's probably not clever. People have done it before, but it's the first time I've done it. So I felt clever doing it. So I just need to make sure I get through the deck here and be able to collect all of those falconers. Ideally, I would also like to play one of my disciples on a falconer. I've already used one on a minstrel just to draw, and I will use a second one on a minstrel to draw as well. I don't have all my falconers as yet, so I want to collect all of them because there might be a win actually if I can gain all the gardens. Falconer can gain gardens. And if I throw in the falconer, well, it'll gain lots of gardens, right? 8 gardens, even at 2 apiece, is 16 points. That is a win. So that is what I'm angling for on this shuffle. I just need to make sure that I can empty the gardens plus the vassals and win the game like that. So I've gathered all my falconers, and now I'm looking for a dual type to gain, which is the peasant. That'll trigger the other falconers, giving me plus buy in the process. And here comes the gardens. As it turns out, I actually do have enough money to empty the gardens. Here I did get maybe a bit lucky to find back that falconer there. If I didn't find it, I don't think I would have been able to empty the piles, to be honest. So that part is a bit lucky, but I did have quite a bit of money, so I could have pivoted over into province or duchy or whatever for the win later. Anyways, we take it on our gardens pile out 2-1 for me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.